Working with TechBot Solutions. Thank you guys again for joining us for another live stream. For those that are joining us for the first time, I go live every single day, Monday through Friday, right during pre-market hours, and I sometimes do another video that's recapping, what it is how we ended up performing. So I do want to thank you guys again for tuning in. I do have a group, it's TechBot Solutions. We have a little bit over now 35,000 members worldwide. The link is down below. It says Facebook group. You feel free to join if you're not a part of that group already. I'm going to be sharing my screen so we can be talking about and performing some technical analysis on some of the stocks that we have within our watch list. It looks like we have a couple good market movers. And then as well as there's a couple suggestions that we already have within the TechBot Solutions group chat that you guys are requesting for me to perform a technical analysis on. We have 3 rules within TechBot Solutions, and that is we never trade based on anyone else's opinion. We only trade what we understand, and we always have a plan when trading. So make sure that when you guys are watching this video, this is more for exposure. Please don't make a sole investment decision based on just what it is that I'm talking about, but make sure it makes sense to you. Make sure you understand it, and make sure you have a plan on an entry, exit, and then a stop loss as well. Let's go ahead and get to it. I'm going to be sharing my screen. Let's do this. For those that are watching for the first time, I use the Thinkorswim platform by TD Ameritrade. It is a free platform, and I do or have made a video on this specific platform itself. You guys are more than welcome to check out the YouTube channel that I have, and I have a series of helpful videos that if you go down the list, I have a series of helpful videos that answer a bunch of frequently asked questions. I just wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of that, just so we can filter out those common questions. Let's say what's up to everyone that is tuning in right now. What's going on, guys? Alrighty. Alrighty, so I'm going to be going from top to bottom based on volume. The ones that are seeing the most volume again right now, it's during pre-market hours, so it's still about 19 minutes until the market opens, so we still have some time. But it looks like SQ, which is the little square, if you guys know what that is, multi-million-dollar company, so definitely not a penny stock, is seeing a downward trend. After its earnings report, is seeing a huge pullback, and where is it going to bounce? So let's go a little bit further back, and let's try to identify where the bounce is going to happen. If we see, it's been on a consistent upward trend, and it looks like after today's earnings report, that's not necessarily the case. Let's go ahead and do 5-day analysis. Okay. So it looks like it might be bouncing already. It has an overall support at around 25, if I'm not mistaken. It did go below 25, but held pretty well. So that's good to know. And then the previous support that it had, I'm going to turn on my level 2. The previous support that it had, which ended up breaking and then had that huge drop, is about $26. Therefore, it has this nice little margin from 25 to 26 to make up. So therefore, it's already pretty much a little bit less than halfway there. But when it comes down to percentages, it's about 3.71% all the way from top to bottom. So simply what I'm going to do is, because we think that one has somewhat potential, I'm going to end up going here and then calling out SQ and then support at 25 to 26, just giving me a better understanding that when it comes down to referencing to different stocks throughout the day, I can at least always go back to this one and have a better understanding on where it stands. And then once I look at it, it makes sense to me because I'm reminded on the technical analysis that I performed. So let's go back to it and continue doing this and going down the list. It looks like a couple of you guys were requesting MTBC. I'll be sure to get there. It looks like AMD is still holding above $13. So yesterday it had a pretty solid drop, and because of that huge drop, it built this pretty solid margin, for it to make its way back up to this like $14 resistance. So, or $14, although it looks like a resistance right now, it's actually supposed to be a support. So let's go ahead and see if we can actually, we'd have to go pretty far back. Yeah, so being able to break above that $14 would put it back at that old support when it was seeing this upward trend, but it looked like it dropped a little bit further than expected, and it's kind of breaking this previous trend that it had. But again, Still holding above 13, so we still have a solid support, and it's still struggling to break above and hold above 1340, so that's good to understand. So right now it has this quick little margin, and as we know, usually when the market opens, AMD has a nice little pullback, so just note that as well. And it looks like, it's already seen a downward trend, so kind of just comes out to staying up to date on that one. So I'm going to put that one on the board, and I'm going to put that one on the board from 13 to 14 with a, so that's going to be AMD 13 to 14. All right. Okay. So I had an earnings report. If you guys saw yesterday, there's so many stocks that were just doing so poorly yesterday, and it looks like, today is quite the opposite. It looks like they're all coming back up, which is good. More potential today. That's definitely what we want to see. Again, we don't want to force a trade, especially if it's not working out. It looks like HIMX, due to its previous. Ooh. Sorry about that, guys. Due to its previous resistance at like 915, 920, that it's had here, it looks like, I'm sorry, 910. It looks like it's peaked out, but it's hitting more of a resistance. The RSI indicator is showing that it's more on the oversold side, or overbought side than oversold. It looks, obviously it had its earnings report. So I would say I would feel a little bit more comfortable buying this one at the support, which is around $8. As you guys can see that it bounced at 8, hit a resistance previously, it peaked out at $9. Does that mean 100% when it comes back down that it's going to bounce at $8? No, but it's been a common trend, as you guys can see here, and most likely because that's peaked out at $9, it's most likely going to be the resistance. What I'm going to do is I already have my alert set if it breaks above this certain resistance line because I set it the previous time. What I'm going to do this time that I didn't do last time is I'm going to set an alert when it breaks below 825, letting me know that it's approaching that $8 support. The reason why is I think this one does have more potential compared to the other stocks because it's a lower cap stock. It's $8, isn't extremely low, but because it's, about half the price of the other two stocks that we just talked about, the potential for profit is that much greater. So I think this one's nice. I'm going to put this one on the board, HIMX, and that's from $8 to $9. All right. Oh, didn't mean to skip that, guys. All right, so it looks like MTBC had a pretty solid day yesterday. Realistically, guys, if I'm not mistaken, this was a true low cap stock. It must have gone through a reverse stock split because there's no way that, yeah. Or actually, no, it looks like it might have just picked up on its own. Okay, it's now holding above $1. That's good. Previous resistance, it's been around 250. So as you guys can see here, peaked out at 250. Doesn't hold very well above 250. It does look like it can have pretty solid, pump and dumps, and that's just not the type of style that I approach when it comes to trading. I really like to see or understand what it is that I'm investing in. It's a little bit more difficult with these stocks that are all over the place, but it comes down to your style. So there's nothing wrong with setting an alert. It looks like its resistance is at $2.40. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an alert. I think this thing is more on the overbought side, so it's most likely I think going to see a downward trend, especially because of its earnings report. And I'm going to do when it goes below. I'm going to put an alert when it goes below $2. And I'll just stay up to date with that. I just think based on where it stands, it just looks like it's going to see a downward trend more than anything. So if we do a 20-day analysis and do so it's had a nice little pump just like before, and then it sees a pullback, pump, pullback, pump, pullback, downward trend, pump, and most likely pullback. So for those that were asking my opinion on MTBC. JNUG. Now, JNUG and JDST have been ones that I've been talking about. It looks like JNUG is now back at 16. I don't really like JNUG right now. I think JDST, after it broke above that $62 support, we can see that it's been holding pretty well. And during pre-market hours, it's been holding the entire time above 62, which is a good sign. So if you guys don't know, you do a 10-day analysis. It saw the drop all the way down to lows of 58.60. I kept calling this one out, and the reason I kept calling it out was due to its previous trend that it used to bounce at these previous, supports, and that's why I was, it's like, I was so sure that it was going to bounce, but I didn't just let that be the sole reason that, I wanted to trade it. I always set up a plan on, where I was going to cut my losses, and I've traded it, twice or three times from the time that it's been down here. I sold yesterday, so I'm thinking about getting back in again, but understand that it's had a previous resistance. If you guys could see, support here at around, 60, and then a resistance at around 64. So 64 to 65, based on its most common resistance, it would be around 65, if you guys could see that. So right now it's more at that 62.40, 60. So I'd like to see a little bit more of a pullback. I wanted to see a pullback a little bit below 62 so I can get back in. Yesterday I sold at 62.20. But let's go ahead and see the potential for profits about 5%. Nothing huge, right? Or about 5%. So nothing huge, but I still think it has potential. Just wanted to break it down for you guys on why I see potential in this one. And if it breaks above that 65 resistance, then the potential to go up to 70. It's up to you guys if you want to hold or lock in profits. And then if it breaks above 66, then decide to jump on in. So whatever your approach is with this specific stock, just know that it did peak out and hit 64 today. It did bounce and hold above 62. So I think it has a pretty solid support resistance here from 62 to 64. That's about 3%. So nothing huge, but still something to look at. Ooh. Let's see what you guys are saying. Okay, you guys are asking for tops. Sounds good. Okay. I'll definitely do tops right now. MRS. Okay. This one also went through a bunch of reverse stock splits because I remember this one was super low, such a low cap stock. Yeah, it's just not showing a lot of good signs for upward momentum. It's kind of hitting this like resistance wall at $4, so it's kind of a make it or break it for it. Not very attractive to me. There's JDST, iPass. Wow, dude, just a bunch of stocks that did horrible based on their earnings report. Look, earnings report never saw any volume anyways, and then huge drop. Definitely don't want to be trading this one. This one had an earnings report, and this one, wow, broke right through its resistance at $3. It has a 310. Yeah, and that's its previous resistance. So I'm gonna set my alert when it's back down here. It's probably not gonna be today, and the volume is very low anyways, so. Kellogg, whoa, who knew? I do eat some of their cereals, so I guess that's pretty good. Resistance, past couple of days. Yeah, they haven't been doing very well. But it looks like they've, after this bounce, it's shown consistent signs of upward momentum, hopefully making its way back up to its previous resistance. So this might be an interesting one to look at. When it comes to maybe a potential swing trade, but just know that it is approaching that old support, which most likely will become a new resistance at around 68.50. All right. Not much there. Looks like they will 97. That's actually not bad. Shop. That's Shopify. So it has a support at 97.50 and a resistance at 105. That's an interesting one. So buy when it breaks above 100, sell when it hits 105. That could be a good 5% for me. Nope. I know. No. Not doing very well. Complete downward trend. HUSA. Nope. Drip. Hitting a resistance wall. semi-alert if it breaks above. All right, let me actually just go to the one that you guys are talking about, TOPS. Okay, so for those that aren't familiar with what's going on, I'm guessing you guys are saying that there's a reverse stock split. Let's see. No, well, yeah, there has to be. Okay, so TOPS has already been receiving a delisting notice. So usually what they end up doing is doing a reverse stock split. So what that means is they reduce the amount of shares, or they cut the amount of shares that are available within the market. Meaning that, like, let's say they had 100,000 shares, and that's why they were trading at previously. What were they trading at? You can't even tell because that's ridiculous. They're trading at 20 cents. Okay, so let's say they cut down, from 100,000 shares to well, to see this increase, they must have done an enormous reverse stock split, like maybe a 125, because it went from 20 cents to $6, meaning that they cut down their shares. What would that be? If it's 20 times 5, 5 times 6, then that's 300 times now more. So yeah, so pretty much it just dilutes the overall amount of shares available, meaning that they just reduce the amount of shares. Therefore, the price is valued a little bit more, meaning that now it meets NASDAQ requirements. So they won't get delisted, and that's the whole point. You don't want these stocks don't want to get delisted, because then they will no longer be tradable under Nasdaq, meaning that those that are using Robinhood can only trade stocks that are under Nasdaq and not true OTC stocks. And if this one gets delisted, then it'll be labeled as a true pink sheet stock, which is a true penny stock. Just to give you guys a better understanding, is a delisting notice a good sign? Heck no, like it's never a good sign. Is a reverse stock split a good sign? Not necessarily. Like I don't really know many cases when the stock does a reverse stock split, especially a stock that is was below $1. The reason they only do reverse stock splits are really to meet certain NASDAQ requirements, and it's because they're already doing so poorly already. So if you guys could see, those that know about like delistings or are about reverse stock splits, they usually peak out and do the reverse stock split and then see a downward trend tremendously. So this could be a potential stock for people to short today, so be careful about that. So if you're trading TOPS, don't think that you just made 20 cents to $6. Your account might reflect it because it hasn't made that transition yet. But just know that if you went from 20 cents to $6, your account value would have stayed the same, or approximately the same. But now it's down, all the way down to $3.91. So you must have lost 36% of your account, unfortunately, for those that held TOPS. And guys, there's a good amount of people that talk about TOPS within our group, and it's been a profitable stock sometimes, but realistically, it's just a money pit, right? And it's like TOPS, DRYS, all these stocks that are always doing reverse stock splits, that are always just seeing a downward trend. Like, you never want to hold any of those stocks overnight. That's one of the biggest rules that we have within our group, and I think I've talked about that multiple times on why you should never hold a true penny stock overnight, especially if you don't know anything about the specific stock. There's sometimes if you have an approach or a true fundamental on a specific stock, on why you believe that it's a good thing to hold it, then that's up to you. But realistically, guys, based on my experience, I would see more red days than green days, especially seeing red days like this, where you lose 30 to 40, 50% of your account because of the inability to sell, because of not being able to sell during pre-market hours and stuff like that. It's definitely not a good experience, and I just want to make sure that you guys don't have to make the same mistakes that I've made or other members within the group made. So I hope you guys can see from this that you probably should not be holding a penny stock, especially if you don't understand overnight. So it looks like it's just going to be stock that's going to be shorted, end up hitting an all-time low, and then it sees a little bit of bounce, and then just continues to drop, and then eventually will get delisted. So based on my experience, that's usually what happens. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. It looks like we have a Dimitri. He obviously has nothing better to do, so that's really funny. If you guys want, let's go ahead and say hi to Dimitri. What is it? Dimitri Rodriguez. That's funny. But I don't understand like why people waste their time and they try to like hate on the comment. I don't know. It's just so they obviously have nothing better to do. It's so funny to me. And they're the ones that always spend so much time commenting on our videos and hating on our group when, oh man, it's so mind-boggling that they obviously don't do anything good. So, Jordan Washington, what's going on, bud? They need attention, Javier Paz says. They hate us because they ate us, Brandon. All right, let's go ahead and do one more analysis before we start, and that's okay. Ooh, RDFN. Markets open, guys. Oh, my alert's going off. RDFN. RDFN is doing good. Looks like it has a resistance at 33.50. Let's go a little bit further back. Yeah, consistent upward trend. So I don't see anything negative on this one. Just make sure you have a plan again before going in, understanding, wow. Oh, I think I did follow up with RDFN. RDFN is like a newer stock, right? Obviously. It's been seeing a consistent upward trend. Just know that, guys, be cautious. It's not always going to rise and rise and rise. There's going to be pullbacks. And it's on those pullbacks when you see potential that, most likely will do well. So let me go ahead and go to, what the heck? Okay. So there's JDST. It looks like SQ is right back at that. Ooh, 28.40 or 24.80, 28.40. Wow, that was something. There we go. I think I'm going to get into SQ right now. Let's go ahead and see if we can. Just really small potential. Okay, let me try to enter the position. I'm actually, way too late. Crap. It was not, guys, my fault. Was not prepared for that. So it had that pullback, which was nice. And then now it's just pushing right through. And I would have sold at 25.50, and that would have been my 2.5%, seeing somewhat of a pullback. Yeah, that was a quick in and out for SQ. I'm going to put my alert if it drops below this price point again. And I'm going to be patient and have my app on my phone open so I don't have to struggle. Okay, so quick little recap. We're looking at SQ from support resistance if you're watching right now. Snapchat, still a complete dump right now. AMD with that nice little pullback, just like always, guys. Like it's just so cool to be able to call these pullbacks on AMD because they always happen. Not always, I don't want to say always, but I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 out of 5 times I think it happens. It's already seen a rise, so that's pretty solid. I need to catch one on the pullback. I need to see one that's still, no, not that one. Heck no. JDST must be doing good right now. 63. Yeah, just broke above that 63 resistance. So congrats to those that are swing trading. I saw a good amount of traders send me their screenshots because of my call out on JDST. Although not everyone enjoyed I think for those that tuned in yesterday for our group chat discussion, not everyone was a complete fan of my recommendation on JDST, but that it was just funny to see. Save is making its way back up. Okay. man. Definitely don't want to force it, and I feel like I'm almost trying to force it right now. AMD at 1339. JDST is breaking those resistance. Nice, nice. Okay, there we go. 25.50. That was a previous resistance, but like, oh yeah, pullback. So if you guys could see it push right through the 25.50. It had an overall resistance based on the previous. I honestly think SQ still has potential to continue to rise, but I'd like to catch it at a little bit of a lower point. Realistically, I mean, where it was at yesterday, I think it has pretty nice potential. 10% plus, and the potential for profit is obviously much greater than potential for loss. I feel like if I get in right now, I'm getting into close to its current resistance, which is 25.60. So I do believe that it will break above that resistance. I just want to catch it lower to this current margin that it's at right now. And let me explain that right now. So I'm going to trade. I really like SQ. It's a multi-million-dollar company, if not potentially a billion-dollar company. Again, guys, if you guys don't please don't trade just because of my opinion on this specific stock. But look, we're seeing the pullback, which is exactly what we want to see. There's this margin right now based on during pre-market hours of a support at around 24.90. So just hold up. Let me get my order ready because I always talk too much and then never get anything done. So oh, Fidelity wants me to buy $7,000 worth of stock. No, thank you. Crap. Okay, so it bounced at 25.12. Looks like he has a pretty solid one at 25.30. So my shares, I want to buy maybe like 3,700 shares, and that's going to be with 25.30 around there. So it's going to be, let me try to buy 150 shares, 150 shares with a limit order, and I'm going to buy at, where's it at right now? So $25, and can I get in a little bit lower? No, it's already pushing back through. Man, dang, already pushing through. 25.40. All right, I'm gonna take a step back, and I think we can get a pullback to 25.30 right now. I'll do 25.31 to beat those at 25.30. About a 3,800 position, $3,800 position. Set my alerts when it falls below 25. All right, guys, it's still continuing to climb. I was hoping that it'd hit that resistance at 25.50 and then see a pullback, but no, broke right through. So that's pretty solid. And is it breaking above 26.60? Yeah, okay. I have to cancel that order. Oh, pullback. Come on. Guys, twice. That's pretty solid. That from bottom to top, when it peaked out, that was about 3% potential, which is still a solid trade. And right now, when it peaked out, it's about almost 2% potential. And those are within the first 8 minutes of the market open. There we go, pullback. And can we get down to 24, 25.40, 25.30? Let me know what you guys think. I want to have you guys in the live stream if that's cool. the heck, bro? Get out of here. Okay. Trying to get the pullback. It looks like it bounced. It's trying to bounce at 25.40. It looks like volume is starting to die out. Maybe I should be a little bit more patient. No, man, it's holding. It's holding above that. It's holding very near that resistance line. So I think we're going to have a pretty solid break right now. Sweet. Louis says he likes SQ as well. And again, those that like it, great. You know, set up a plan and see what is worth it for you. Yeah, dude, my limit buy is way too low. All right. So attempt to cancel and replace. Let's go ahead and see if I can do that. Pull back. Come on, break below. No. All right, so support is at 25.40. If you guys saw that, so I'm gonna put 25.41. No, but it's already all right. We're being way too quick. I mean, way too slow. All right, so I'm gonna be quick on this one. And I have my order ready. And if it breaks above, then I'm gonna try to catch it at the break, pull back. What the heck? MTBC went last or below $2. It's not a good sign for some of you. All right, guys, it broke above the resistance. There we go, breaking through. Whoa. Pull back, pull back, pull back, and I'm gonna get in. What the heck? I didn't get filled, and that's oh crap. All right, guys, we're really picking up some volume. You guys can see we need to. There we go. Come on. I had a limit order at 265. Okay. Now resistance at 280. All right. Just broke above that resistance, and yeah, now I'm just forcing it. So I'm gonna cancel that. Yeah. My fault. Man, Fidelity, I swear, my execution was above what I put my limit order above the market price and above what people were. All right, good thing I canceled it. It's seen a pretty nice pullback. And I'm going to try to get in right now. SQ, let's do this thing. Come on, trade. Buy 150. Limit. Market. Wow, that was trash. All right, so we have a support now at 25.50. All right, once we get that break above, I'm going in. All right, fine. All right, I'm in. But it broke below it again. 20. Oh, 25.40. So that was my alarm to end the live stream. All right, so we're in. So I'm in at 150 shares at 25.51. And now we're picking back up. Again, definitely not the best entry. We called it out when it was sub 25. So the reason the end dropping, definitely not a good sign. JDST, where's that at? Still staying firm. I think we got a pretty, I mean, it was an interesting one, right? There's like some certain, okay. All right, so I'll follow up with the stock, guys. I'll answer a couple of your guys' questions. So what program are you guys using? So if you're talking about, like the platform that I have laid out for you guys, it's TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. So Blizzard Tech is saying not a penny stock, but still crazy. That's pretty sweet. I think you're talking about your own stock, STMP. So I don't think it's what. But that is pretty much it. So I'm just looking at the different. Oh, we saw a huge pullback. Crap. Okay. We have the support overall at. Yeah, it's in a huge pullback down to 25.36. This is going to be a swing trade for SQ, and where I plan to sell it, if you guys didn't see, is going to be around the old support, which is around 26.52. Again, if it doesn't make sense to you guys, then please, 100% don't trade it. It's just a swing trade that I have planned out for it. And then it has an overall high resistance. So if I can see that it's picking up pretty nicely, then it has a resistance at like $28.50, which is a little bit more than 10% potential based on the price. So right now it's sitting right around 25.36. So I think it was pretty interesting on how it played out today. So I hope you guys found this video somewhat entertaining. I'll keep you guys up to date on my position throughout the day. And if I end up selling tomorrow, then I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date. So thank you guys again for watching. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And today's video, the one that's going to be going live today, is going to be the one for the McLaren. So it's when I finalized the deal and I edited a quick little kind of edit, kind of how I used to with my previous car videos. So that's going to be up, I think, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And yeah, that's just to give you guys an example. Market closes at 1 p.m. here. So, 2 hours later, the video will be up. So there's like a huge shift, but everything's good. It's seen a pullback again for SQ. So maybe I'll buy a little bit more shares at the bottom. So thank you guys again for watching. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. If you guys haven't done so already, My team has been killing it when it comes down to their videos and their team and everything it is that they include. So what I mean by that is Connor, feel free to subscribe to him. He's definitely one of the momentum traders that we have within our group. He's about to hit 2,000 subscribers, guys, and he started just a month or 2 months ago. So he's definitely an amazing guy within our group for those that like to trade momentum stocks, and that's a different style than what I have. Then we have Brad, who's an OTC stock trader. One of his members within the subgroup that he has within TechBot Solutions just made over $28,000 on his first trade ever. Again, and he goes into detail, and the environment within his platform, again, is a lot more friendly and supportive, and it's definitely a team environment, and it's a little bit more enclosed. So one of the most important things, guys, when it comes down to investing in anything, be open-minded to every single niche and every single market. That doesn't mean that you have to trade, every stock that they trade or, those individual stocks. If you guys have a paper trading account, then that's the best time to get familiar and identify yourself as a trader. So that's all I really want to say. If you guys can't subscribe to those guys, that would be one of the coolest things before me, be sure to subscribe to them. But if there's anything that I can do or a video request that you guys have, please feel free to direct message me within the TechBot Solutions Discord app. And then that's our group chat where we kind of just share ideas and share what it is that we're doing and sharing best practices. So can't thank you guys enough for everything it is that you guys do. The links are all down in the description. I do have, based on, I don't know if I gave you guys the update, I had a total of 4 rooms available within one of my properties next door. And what I do is I provide housing for entrepreneurial students or people that want to, pursue some type of entrepreneurial type of lifestyle. So they're usually students around here at ASU Polytechnic or around the Gilbert area. All I did was I sent out an email yesterday. Got 2 rooms now filled. Still waiting on 2 more. So feel free to reach out to me if you haven't done so already. That's going to be the Milky Assets link down below. And then pretty much what I do is I provide you a gateway for a stable job. I kind of mentor you, and then you're more than welcome to reach out to me for any questions or for any ideas for startups. And then I simply, if I see value in them, then I can fund them. And that's the whole thing. And I live really close to that house, and I'm always around, so they always end up coming over and stuff like that, and then we just hang out. So if you think that's a type of environment that you like to be a part of and you want to live in, you have to be here within the next 15 to 30 days because that's when the leases need to be signed. Feel free to reach out to me, and then we'll disclose all the numbers on how big the house is and stuff like that. I believe a lot of you guys got the newsletter yesterday. I'm not going to be spamming your guys' emails or anything like that. We had only 100 people subscribe to that newsletter. But regardless, I was just sending out the update on the room that's available. I don't send any newsletter or anything like that. So that's really just it. Just wanted to keep you guys up to date. Thank you guys again for everything it is that you guys do. Continue working hard. Continue doing what it is that you guys love. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, guys.